Enter the Enchanted World, a spellbinding series from Time Life Books that probes the forgotten origins of the world's strangest curiosities. In each lavishly illustrated volume, you'll move through storybook lands where the original endings to the tales of childhood weren't always happy ones. The Enchanted World takes you back to a time when restless apparitions drifted through darkened hallways.
Some ghosts were nothing more than cold spots on floors or shadows in corners. Others took human form.
A time when men who called themselves sorcerers used the tarot to prophesy the future.
The hanged man dangling from a gallows was a sign of life in suspension, while the death card indicated change.
And a time when malevolent creatures were thought to stalk the night in search of hapless victims.
Unwise was the wayfarer who journeyed by night, for in the shadows, greedy eyes glittered, claws curled, teeth clicked.
Begin your journey through the Enchanted World with Wizards and Witches. Examine it free for 10 days. If you keep it, other volumes will follow. One about every other month. Spells and bindings, ghosts, and water spirits. So enter the Enchanted World, where anything is possible, and a little luck never hurts.
In the epic tale of Beowulf, we can see the use of magic, divine intervention, superhuman abilities, demons, and paganism. While today we can find that these forces have influenced religious beliefs, novels, TV shows, conspiracies, and much, much more. In the days of old, people believed in the existence of demons like Grendel, and the mythical creatures such as dragons and sea monsters. It was said that these creatures roamed the land and terrorized kingdoms, that the king's throne was protected by God, and that the only weapons that could defeat these demons were weapons forged in hell itself, and the men born with godlike abilities. Some of these men, my personal favorite, Mew. It's adorable, your argument is invalid. Beowulf, who possessed superhuman strength, fortitude, and was able to hold his breath underwater for extended periods of time. And then there's Merlin, gifted in sorcery, foresight, the ability to shapeshift, and keeper of the arcane secrets. So how does the supernatural forces described in Beowulf relate to our modern day world? That's a wonderful question. Well, I'd like to know what Donald Trump is going to name this country once he's president. Anyway, in some ways, humanity's view of the supernatural and way of life have both remained the same and have changed or no longer exist. Today, the supernatural play a large role in many areas of modern society, such as religion, works of modern literature such as The Shadow and the Rose by Amanda DeWeese, the book series and TV series Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, and Where's Waldo? Still a better love story than Twilight. Television shows and movies like the perfectly named show Supernatural.
You sure you did the ritual right? Sorry. Touchy, huh? Wishful thinking, but maybe it's just the wind. Who are you?
I'm the one who gripped you tight and raised you from perdition.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
We need to talk, Dean. Alone.
And groups known as cults or satanic worshippers. We live in a time where science has put a near end to the beliefs of magical spells, alchemy, and supernatural beings, stating that they are the result of strong religious influence and the lack of knowledge. Fact is, the world that we live in today is ruled heavily by science, facts, and realistic thinking, whereas in medieval times, it was ruled by supernatural beliefs and unrealistic thinking. I myself would love to be in a world ruled by sorcery and mythical creatures, because facts are boring, and Trump is a big red Oompa Loompa with a big mouth and toupee. Our generation has manipulated the influence of the supernatural on the public to create businesses and make money. If we want to find the Anglo-Saxon style view of the supernatural today, the best bet would be the Catholic Church and other religions. One of these forms are called possession, but just because it's supernatural doesn't mean it's always evil. We also have miracles.
I originally wrote about Jesus' miracles as if they were metaphor and allegory. We weren't really supposed to believe that the miracles were real. We weren't supposed to believe that they were physical miracles. We weren't really supposed to believe that Jesus fed 5,000 people with a couple of loaves of bread and some fish. And then our little boy Shane was born with a life-threatening illness. We were told that he would not live through the night. I found myself putting into practice this idea of prayer in a way that I had never practiced it before. He spent the next 3 weeks in intensive care. Shane regenerated all of the organs in his body. And 3 weeks later, we took Shane out of the neonatal intensive care unit as a perfectly healthy newborn. For me, watching Shane create physical miracles was entirely transformational. It made me realize that one of the great lessons I was here to learn and that I was here to share was that miracles are not allegory. Miracles are not metaphor. Miracles are real. Miracles are physical things that we can manifest in our lives every single day through faith and through love. My new book is called The Source of Miracles: 7 Powerful Steps to Transform Your Life Through the Lord's Prayer. There are so many people out there who are struggling, and they don't need to be. Everyone can create their own miracles.
After looking at these 2 time periods, it all comes down to the good and the evil. Know the difference, people. Looking at the personality and traits of a few characters from Beowulf and comparing them to modern society, we will find that, although we live in a time period that has changed, people have pretty much stayed the same. In the epic of Beowulf, Beowulf is portrayed as a mighty warrior who seeks to earn honor, is of noble descent, and is very courageous. On the other side, we have Grendel, who is a foul being, evil and destructive, and Unferth, who is an evil, greedy individual. Kind of like the card game Exploding Kittens. It will destroy your friendships, people. You have been warned. With that being said, the good and the evil of today is not a matter of supernatural entities like demons and magic, but whether or not we choose to be like or act like Beowulf, courageous, honorable, and handsome, or to be like Grendel or Unferth, greedy, evil, and destructive, kinda looks like the child of Jabba the Hutt. So I ask you,